kind of interesting. This story begins before the story in the book does. Because in the book, on the first page of this chapter, The Kite, it just says, Frog and Toad went out to fly kites. They went to a large meadow where the wind was strong. So they already arrived at the meadow in the book, but here on Apple TV, we're seeing what happened right before that. That's cool. Oh, but we do, however, get something very much akin to Frog's first lines in this chapter, even though they're not at the meadow yet. See, in the book, Frog says, Our kites will fly up and up, said Frog. It will fly all the way up to the top of the sky. They finish making their kite, and Frog says, I believe our kite is ready to fly. Toad says, Are you sure? Frog says, I am sure. It will fly all the way up to the top of the sky. You will see. And Toad says, well, all right then, I will see. Now they're walking out the door. Frog's carrying the kite, and Toad's carrying the string behind him, all rolled up. And as Frog carries the kite, the part of the string with the ribbons on it is kind of dragging along the ground there. It's got white ribbons. Oh, wow, this is so cool! This looks almost exactly like the cover of the book, Days with Frog and Toad. Because on the cover of this book, we see Toad carrying the ball of string, and Frog carrying the kite that's attached to. That is amazing! And actually, this is the only Frog and Toad book where we see something on the cover that directly lines up with something that happens inside the book. Because on the other three, the first one, Frog and Toad Are Friends, they have a picture of Toad reading a book to Frog, and there was a story about Toad trying to come up with a story, but he didn't read from a book. Then the second one, Frog and Toad Together, the two of them are riding a two-seat bicycle together, but there's no chapters about that. And then the third one, Frog and Toad All Year, we see Frog and Toad building a snowman or a snow frog, but they don't do that inside the book either. They do try to go sledding in the snow, but they don't build anything. But on this last one, Days of Frog and Toad, we see Frog and Toad with the kite on the cover, and Chapter 2 is in fact about that kite. Interesting. So it's only perfect that Apple TV would want to incorporate that image from the front cover of the book into the actual episode itself. I should keep my eyes open and see if they do anything else with the other three covers. Did we see Toad reading a book to Frog yet? I don't remember. Maybe it did. Maybe we'll see that later on. I'm pretty sure we didn't see them on a bicycle yet, and we definitely didn't see them in the snow yet either. But yeah, that'd be cool to keep in mind if they incorporate the classic cover art into the show somehow. Oh, actually, we do see a little image of Toad reading to Frog in the credits. I do remember that. Okay, so anyway, let's see what Frog and Toad are saying as they walk along the path carrying the kite in this very iconic way. Frog's talking about that, how he has confidence that the kite will fly. And then Toad's asking Frog what the word confidence means. Oh, that's perfect, because in Cookies, Frog was talking about willpower, and then Toad asked Frog what willpower means, so that's a really good character trait. Frog uses all these big words that Toad isn't quite familiar with yet, and Frog helps Toad learn what this advanced vocabulary means. So how's Frog gonna define confidence? Let's see. He says, confidence is believing in something so much that it is sure to happen. Okay, that sounds about right. But Toad says, well, I've never made a kite before, neither have you. But I would like for it to fly. Frog says, then have some confidence and it will. Uh-oh, there's the three robins. I don't like where this is going. We've seen these three robins before on this show. They played a part in Cookies. They sort of played the role of the birds that ate all of Toad's cookies in the end of that story. And Robin also appeared in the Button episode to kind of be a stand-in for the Sparrow. And she made a bunch of other appearances as well. But so far, Robin seems like a very nice, likable character. But in this book, the three robins in the Kite story, which, by the way, is the only story within the books that we see those robins, they're not very nice. They keep laughing at Toad because he can't get his kite up in the air. And they're trying to discourage him and convince him that he should give up. Yeah, this is interesting. I wonder if they're gonna make some improvements to this, because we already know that this Robin is a very nice character, so maybe she and her friends won't be quite as brutal as they were in the book. We shall see.